Baseball has never had two simultaneous off-season pursuits as glamorous, yet utterly different, as the current chases after Shohei Ohtani, 23, the pitch and slug Babe Ruth of Japan, and Giancarlo Stanton, the NL MVP who hit 59 homers. Ohtani alone makes this winter unique because he's one of the greatest bargains ever. Last season he threw a pitch 101.6 miles per hour and hit a ball that left his bat at 111.1 miles per hour. He is 6'4", 203 pounds, yet from the left-handed batter's box was timed to first base in 3.8 seconds, the same as speedster D. Gordon. But he'll cost his new team just $20 million in posting fee to his old club, the Nippon Fighters, plus international bonus pool money to him, which would be chicken feed of $2 or $3 million. Then, for at least the next 6 seasons he'd be just another underpaid MLB chattel with free agency far away. Why is Ohtani posting now, when if he waited 3 years, he'd qualify for rules that might let him make a dozen times more bonus money? He loves the game, wants to prove himself and, from a small town, is said to be unpretentious. He has named 7 teams with whom he's willing to sign. If you want a read on his personality, one of the first teams to whom he said no thanks was the Yankees. What a Christmas present, probably for the front-running Mariners, Angels, Rangers or maybe Dodgers. They're all on Ohtani's lucky list of landing spots with a deadline to sign by December 23. The first 3 suitors are all in the AL, where Ohtani, who loves to hit, could be a designated hitter at times. Seattle and Anaheim are on the West Coast, which Ohtani is said to prefer closer to home. The Rangers helped Yu Darvish acclimate to the majors. In theory, both Darvish, now a free agent, and Ohtani could be Rangers together for years into the future. All 3 of these teams had losing records last year, too, which means that any obvious 2018 contender in the NL who's been thwarted in recent Octobers would celebrate if Ohtani goes to the AL. Read the Nationals. But never discount the Dodgers because they're the Dodgers. As can't-miss as Ohtani appears to be, he still must prove himself in the big leagues. He's mostly a fastball slider pitcher with an average spin rate which indicates how much a fastball appears to hop. His breaking ball is wicked, but his fastball might be a bit straight, although Noah Syndergaard was the only starter in MLB who topped Ohtani's average fastball of 97.5 miles per hour last season. As a hitter, Ohtani struck out 27% of the time in Japan. Will he connect often enough? Stanton, on the other hand, is a fabulous proven slugger, but one with a $295 million guaranteed contract over the next 10 years, through age 37, plus an opt-out clause after the 2020 season. That's double-edged. If he gets hurt, he's averaged 128 games a year in his past 8 seasons, or ages poorly, you're stuck with his contract. But if he keeps smashing, he might skip town in 3 years. Stanton, who'll only be 28 next year, should have a monstrous near-term future. But the post-30 lives of similar muscle men have been a dangerous mixed bag. For every prodigious Harmon Killebrew or Reggie Jackson who was worth the money from ages 31 through 37, there are more Stanton comparables such as Juan Gonzalez, Jose Canseco, Prince Fielder, Adam Dunn, Rocky Colavito and Greg Luzinski, who would have been anchors for most of a Stanton-like 10-year deal. The Miami Marlins, now owned by Derek Jeter, have Stanton on the trading block so they can cut payroll while they rebuild a money-losing franchise that draws poorly even with Stanton. But the giant slugger, who has complete trade approval in his contract, won't necessarily leave. Why? Because his contract is basically market value. The scales of talent versus money are close. So why would any team give the Marlins a bunch of wonderful prospects and pick up the $295 million tab, too? They wouldn't. So, every potential Stanton deal will be a wrangle, balancing the value of the prospects offered versus how much of the $295 million the Marlins will eat. Right now, the Giants and Cardinals are the rich teams that are most desperate to add a huge bat to fill an outfield void. Every ready-to-win an 18 contender, such as the Nats, hopes that Stanton, if he's traded, ends up in San Francisco 6,498. A right-hand hitter likely won't blast 59 homers with that home park. And no player, even Stanton, turns a 98-game loser into an elite team in 1 year. Once again, the team circling in the sky is the Dodgers. The more you study their 2017 payroll, which was the most expensive in the game, and their future obligations, the more you can see ways that they might be able to afford Stanton. It'd be like solving a financial Rubik's Cube. But don't put it past the bums. In October, they were 1 win shy of the world title they've sought since '88. When you've come that close, and you're that rich, sometimes you buy the pot. Every winter, baseball fans make harmless but passionate predictions about a future they realize that they can't possibly guess. But we do it anyway, in part to pass the time, and in part because no one will remember by spring training. Next year, I predict that Ohtani will bat .300 with 11 homers and 61 RBI in 361 at-bats while also pitching 166 innings with a 137 record and a 2.22 ERA. Why those numbers? Just think for a second. If you're a baseball fan, you probably already know. Yes, those were Ruth's statistics in 1918, 100 years ago as of next season. No one else, except the Babe in that one season for the Red Sox, ever pitched enough innings to qualify for an era title and had more than 400 plate appearances, too. That year, Ruth led the AL in home runs and also won both his starts in the World Series. In one of them, Ruth tripled home 2 runs in a 32 win. He was 23, just like Ohtani now. By 19, Ruth was mostly an outfielder. By 20, he was a Yank and hit 54 home runs. After that, with the sports world agate, regular pitching was in his past. Maybe Ohtani is not a fine enough hitter to merit being in the lineup as a DH or an outfielder once or twice a week between pitching starts. Maybe nobody has the combination of skills at such an elite level to pull it off. Besides, who has the stamina to carry both loads and enough hours in the day to keep the mechanics of both a pitching delivery and a batting swing in sync? Ruth only managed it for a little while. But Shohei Ohtani wants to try. If he succeeds, even at levels much lower than Ruth, he will redefine what is possible in his sport today. For himself now, and probably for others who will try to follow his example. At the very least, he already has made us revisit and admire what the Babe, and until now, only the Babe, was able to do 100 years ago. When Giancarlo Stanton reportedly would come to the Cubs but not the Cardinals, remember Brooks Kieschnick, the Cubs power hitter who also could pitch.